Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Eyes of the Panthers. Firstly, before I introduce who I'm joined with today, I'd just like to thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you stick with us because we've got a lot planned for the future. You may have seen the posts. There was 36 posters made, so that's 36 events. There's only 18 weeks in the season, so that's, if we want, two a week. So yeah, we've got a lot planned in the future. So with that out of the way, let me introduce my co-hosts. First, it's the man with the big mouth, the man with the numbers. It's Zach.
Hello.
Shortly followed by the smooth talker, the briefcase holder. It's Chris.
Hello.
Unfortunately, we can't be joined by the third co-host. He's been put in the sin box for trying to nick 2 steaks from the backup freezer. But if the refs allow it, he'll be with us next time. Right, so let's crack straight on with the first topic. Game review. So, with 3 games, a lot of games. Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Guildford away, Guildford home, and then Coventry away. Starting with Wednesday, I don't think this is going to be a sad or an unhappy or a frustrating episode. We won 6-1.
Hey.
It was great. It was a fantastic game. It was Limos. That's how it's pronounced now, isn't it? We found out.
Limos.
Okay, I'll try and remember that for next time. So Limos scored, and then lo and behold, the guy I had twice who did nothing. He then scores on the time I don't have him. Harris, well done, Harris. Foss, he's probably always on the board now for scoring. And then Amor and Pearson. Pearson with 2. And one of them was a power play goal, which is awesome. We'll talk more about these in a minute. But that means Zach had a pretty good week. A pretty bloody good week, which again, once we've spoken about the games, we'll then go into what that means. So yeah, who wants to start us off talking about Wednesday?
Yeah, just exactly what the doctor orders, isn't it? It was our offence just woke up. We've really been struggling to score those goals, and to score 6 in 2 consecutive games. We'll get on to the next one, but it's just a lot of confidence built. And I think a lot of the defensive confidence started to become a bit. We were a lot more cohesive in that Wednesday game. I don't think the Flames managed to get many shots on net. We were very much controlling the game, which is how we kind of settled into the later season, last season, controlling games, controlling the tempo, controlling the flow. The Flames found it very difficult to come up with a plan B when their plan A wasn't managing to get out of their zone very much. And as I've been saying about Pearson, he's been so close night after night. I just knew as soon as he gets a goal, he's going to get a brace of them, and he's going to just start running. And we've seen the results of that.
Yeah, 100% to this game. Yeah, and the next game we'll talk about. Yeah, so you were talking about the shots. We had 32 shots to us, or there was 13 in favour of us. So what? That was take 13 from 32. Go.
I mean, it's way of a double, so
You can't ask for anything else, really, can you?
No.
I mean, it was just complete domination from us there. That game.
Any time you double their shots in their house, it's an impressive. I love a perfect road game where you win 3-1 like we did in Manchester the other week, where you really control defensively, and you just hope you're going to develop that momentum to get a goal. But to play like we were at home last season in their arena that we have traditionally struggled to play well in, was just absolute dream come true.
Yeah, and I said last episode, I I brought up the quality, not quantity. How I originally said I wanted quantity, not quality, and then last episode I said I wanted a bit more quality, maybe a little less quantity, just to balance it out. And this is exactly what I wanted. We had the quantity, we had the quality. It was just fantastic. I hope now, with after this week, that any issues that were there have been kind of ironed out, and we've gelled. We've sorted what that mystery was, and now future games will be all like this. Touch wood. But yeah, the face-offs we were down, but again, the score says it all. We won the important face-offs, I think. Flames may have won more, but again, if you're winning face-offs that are in neutral ice, it doesn't matter compared to face-offs in your own half, which I'm pretty certain we won the majority of them in the Flames end. Grande had a 92% save percentage. Again, it was like Grande's gone back to what we had last season. He's doing really well. He's strong, and it's keeping Carr humble. So they're both going to be battling for that space again. And another thing which was really good for us, and I really want to point out, we had 100% penalty kill for us. That's awesome. The D-men are doing what they need to do. So yeah,
I've been impressed with our penalty kill from day one. Really, it's they're just forwards piling on the pressure, people marking their zones really well, covering for each other. A lot of tempo on the penalty kill as well, keeping them under pressure, not letting them settle. So we've been doing quite well in that area, and it was another exemplary game for that. I'd like to point out as well before we move on to the next game. Talking firepower wise, we scored 6, but there was the disallowed goal that was definitely a goal.
yes, yeah,
In Doherty, Doherty scored first, and then that was called off. That absolutely the strangest reason for calling off a goal I've ever seen. And then Berman made a world class save on Noel. That
yeah,
if you watch the highlights, you can see him quite distinctly. Very surprised that didn't go in. And then Fazio in their when they swapped netminders straight away, he made a world class save on Harris. So that's three goals there. That on another night they're goals. Yeah, absolute. Just to bring up that point for our firepower, just phenomenal.
yeah. No, they were very lucky. It wasn't 9-1. Very lucky. Yeah, I can't really think of a real negative, because I always want to try and balance out all of our praises with something, but I can't really think of one. Like, it just went well.
Yeah, and I mean their best chance of the night they scored on,
Yeah,
and that was a combination of errors. It was a sort of soft dump into their zone, and then we behind that there was a line change going on. I don't just not the communication going down the line, but it was their best opportunity. They jumped on it, and it just showed how sharp they would have been if we were slipping up here, there, and
yeah,
everywhere. You know, they pounced on that opportunity and scored from it.
definitely. Um, then we go on to Saturday's game. This was at home. It was the cup game. Panthers against Guildford again. 6-5 was the score. Again, another good game. Grande was in goal again. I believe we saved Carr for the following game. Sure, they scored 5, but I was a bit annoyed because in my predictions, the Wednesday game I had said would be, I think it was 4-3 or something, and the Saturday game would be 6-1. Nope, let's do it the other way around. Either way, we still won. It's fine, whatever. Don't care. Cool. It's cool, whatever.
For sure, a lot this season so far.
I was expecting a goal fest.
Yeah.
We always seem to get one with Guildford, and every game so far this season have been goal fests.
Mhm.
But we know how to keep it exciting in the home ring, don't we?
Yes, we do. we had. I'll go on some stats before I name the scorers. So shots, we had 24 to 36. So they were on the ball. They had a lot more shots than us. We had a 25 shot efficiency. Again, awesome. Out of the shots we had, it was fantastic. The penalties. Now, I really think the refs were quite harsh on us this game with the penalties, especially the one with Garrett being kicked out for 10 minutes. I had no clue. I don't know if it was off camera, but I genuinely still to this point still have no clue why he was removed for misconduct. But what did he do?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
something-
no, I,
But they're stick on the bench or something apparently, because obviously I was in the
Oh.
arena. So, but apparently came out of the box and just smashed his stick on the bench, and obviously it's doing misconduct apparently now. Or something.
Oh.
It seemed like they've all changed, isn't it?
That's a bit okay. That's a silly rule. I think that's a weak rule.
It's,
I mean,
it's classified-
Abuse officials or something like that, because if it's going to get their decision type thing, so they just put him out
Yeah.
going for it.
That's a weak rule. I mean, emotions are flying. It's a
It-
sport with emotion driven and adrenaline. Smashing a stick on a bench, you're not hitting anybody.
It was either on the bench or on
The
the
penalty box or one or the other, but apparently it's a straight 10+ game now. Well,
Wow.
misconduct.
That's crazy. But yeah, so we had 26 penalty to their 16. So it was quite a rough game. But again, I think excluding that ridiculous new rule, I do think the refs were quite against us.
Well, it's certainly the first time I've seen a team receive a check to the head and then end up on the penalty kill from it.
I saw that. Yeah, talking about that, they they did the check, and then there was they were just looking at the reviews for a good while, and then they go on the penalty play. Huh? So apparently, if you break the rules, you get rewarded if you're against us.
I don't
I
know
mean,
what Opta was.
Although I don't even know what they even called on us.
No,
Like,
yeah.
it was something like completely random, wasn't it?
I was just bewildered at the point. I mean, you can see from the play, we saw it that many times replayed. It wasn't deliberate. Neither player. I mean, Fossier didn't mean to put himself in danger. I can't remember who it was, but the checking player didn't mean to make contact. Fossier's head was low, but still the onus is on the checker to avoid that contact. No one in their right mind puts them in the firing line of a concussion. So the checker has to try and get away from that contact. So it's a check to the head, it's contact. If Fossier had ended up concussed, if he'd ended up injured, that would have been a 5-minute major. What's the difference? You know, does it take a guy to be injured, or does it take a dangerous play to get penalised? It shouldn't take the full injury. You come down on the sloppy plays.
Yeah. I mean, it should always be where the contact is. Like, if it's contact to the head, it's contact to the head. It doesn't matter, like, if it's injured or not. Like, if it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
Like the colour as it is type thing is my issue with it all.
Yeah, I completely agree. If I'm not going to, lack of a better word, if the intent is there, it should be dealt with as if it happens. Not saying that he was intending to do it, but it happened. But yeah, moving on, we had 60% penalty kill for us and 80 for the Flames. I knew ours would be lower because we had more against us. They were on the power play a lot more than we were, but we still did fairly well. Grande had an 86 save percentage. Yeah, it's not high, but like we all said, it was going to be a goal fest. They were coming back to try and win from the preseason and the previous game, so they had a fight to fight for. And I mean, we were in our home, and that was our first win at home, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So
We seem to be playing better on the road. It's I think it probably says a lot about the team that they're feeling more pressure in front of our own fans, that they're wanting to perform, but we seem to have our biggest breakdowns at home. And
They're trying too hard, aren't they?
I think
They're just
so.
holding that stick a little bit tighter. Where I think at times they loosened off, but I think the main problem with them on Saturday is we weren't falling off and they went, "Oh, we can still control it now," and then we didn't. Is my sort of issue.
But
Yeah,
thankfully, our offense has ignited. It was the same. It was the same story of a defensive breakdown in front of Grande. I don't think there's many of the goals scored against him, despite the low save percentage, that you can put squarely on his shoulders. Perhaps I think the last goal was perhaps a bit of a weak one that Grande had last year's Grande would certainly want back. But the rest of them, they were all sort of sloppy defensive errors that led to a chance, and then it was a bit of a 50-50 on Grande, and they were just put away, and you can kind of see his head sink a little bit as the goals go in, and there's a silence in the crowd, and it's a big confidence thing, I think.
And then again,
Point.
sorry.
Instead of that, they've been going quiet.
We've got to get behind the team at that point at home.
Yeah.
And one thing that like we especially do as at the break point is when it starts going against us, the crowd just goes quiet. Where like we get to other rinks and it's always loud. It gets louder then. When we seem to get quite nervous, and then you can see it reflects on the team as well. A lot.
It's definitely something we share with them up the road and those across the Irish Sea. That the arenas, they're just when things aren't going your way, they're libraries. They're absolute silence, and you can imagine. The players know they're playing in front of 6,000 plus fans, but it's stone silence. All you can hear are the away fans, and it must be a bit of a pressure.
Yeah, I'll say a little bit on this because it really does bug me when I'm at a home game. And for instance, it was the off-season game. So yeah, granted that it was off-season, and we were against the German team, the Foxes, and the Germans were in full force, bellowing, and I mean bellowing, like the roof was being flown off by maybe 100 or 200 Germans, and then there was thousands of us, and you couldn't hear us. It's embarrassing, you know,
and they lost 7-2, and they were bouncing. They were shouting the house down throughout the whole game. It was my son's first ever hockey game, that one, and I thought I'll go and I'll get tickets near the away fans because it'll be quiet. Surely they're not going to bring many for a friendly, and it was absolutely crazy. He loved it, absolutely loved it. Mind.
So yeah, I think that's down to the crowd, because the only people that really make noise and often is Block 19, obviously the loud noise, the loud block. But I don't know if it's
too far away.
I think there's too much in the corner. So like the main bulk of the crowd is at the other end of the arena. So like it just takes some off of the noise traffic to travel there. That's quiet by the time it gets to you. Yeah. So like there might be fans that still like everywhere like block 10, 11-ish that just do not even hear what they're even saying sometimes, because it is just like the complete other side of the arena.
Yeah.
Where I know when I first started going, it used to be like block 3, block 4 sort of place, which is more central. And it was a lot louder then than White is in the corner.
Yes, maybe they could
move it. Like, yeah.
But then it shouldn't always just be down to Block 19 to start the chant or this, that, and the other. So hopefully, for you listeners, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, it'll be in the link. And there is a section in there, a little subsection that says Team Chants. I'm sure that's what it's called. There are chants in there, and it's updated, I believe, with all the ones that we know, because I know Charlie comes out with quite a lot of chants that we don't know yet. But with the ones we know are in there, so you can then learn the chants and just chant along. Because I mean, there's nothing worse than going to a game and everyone around you singing, you're just there going, "Well, this is fun." Get involved. Get behind everyone. All right, and with that, I'll go on to who scored in that game. So first we had Cooper Zek. I've got, Zek. He's great. I like that.
Unbelievable finish.
He's always good. We're gonna slide over and leave the next one till last. Then we had Mitch or Fossier again with 2, which again, he's bound to be on there. His caliber of skill and just where he can get to is fantastic. And then, of course, Chase Pearson with his hat trick, which is crazy. And you were right, Chris. As soon as you got that one, they're coming in, and they're coming in. So Zach had a great week. And then we're moving on to Sunday, an away cup game, Coventry against us, and we won 3-0. That's the first shutout this season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's come early as well. Like this time of the season, shutouts are few and far between. There have been a few around the league. Coventry the day before they shut out Steelers in their own barn, and then they come home and get shut out by us. You know, riding that high of an away win like that, and then we managed to control the game. Perfect away game, absolutely perfect.
Yeah, there was 39 shots to 33. So again, we were getting off the shots, and again, quality and volume. It's working. Carr got the shutout. I don't need to really explain his percentage. It was just everything, everything and anything. Face-offs, 36 for Blaze, 45 for us. We had full control, as you just said. We controlled the game from start to finish.
I think that after the goal we got in the first period, I think if the Blaze were going to score, it was going to be after that. I think they couldn't. They were in supremacy for the rest of that period. I think we were playing
a good 10-15 minutes then. But
we were playing run and gun defense, and we were doing it well. But then after that, period 2 and period 3, we played a really good defensive game, just forcing their shots from low percentage areas, crowding the crease, crowding the neutral zone, and just not allowing them to really build up to anything. Saucerman seemed to be the focal point of any offensive build, and we just pressured him, and we pressured the people that were coming into space, and where he had the obvious pass to. I think their two best chances after that were two broken sticks. Saucerman's stick absolutely exploding, and I was one of the ex-Belfast players. Their stick absolutely exploded in the second as well, and two absolutely beautiful scoring chances. Perhaps just holding those sticks a bit too hard.
Yeah, I thought it was one of ours that broke when they blocked the shot, didn't they? And it just snapped the stick in half.
That Spencer's did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a defensive play. Yeah.
Two broken sticks that game. And the scorers on that
game, I'd thought it's one of the games where I clearly looked at the videos who was dangerous, because the most dangerous players were made sure I had a man there. It was very like man marked, and I thought it's like, as an away game goes, it's a perfect game you can have there. Because Coventry is never easy place to go either, because it's a bit smaller, but they've always got a decent team. Coventry have. So I thought that first goal was crucial, and then after that they didn't really like scoring. I know I've fed a lot of shots, but they were quite from far out, and Carr just had it covered every time. And then when they didn't, we just cleared it away. So it's the game we've been so needed for a while, defensively wise.
And Carr's aggressiveness in net as well. A lot of their chances were coming from rushing the net, getting the puck on the net, and then hoping for a greasy rebound into the goal. But Carr was just aggressively hunting the puck. There was one particular point in the third period. I'm not sure if it was after we scored the second goal, where I think Gleeson got the puck in front of net. He was winding up to get a chance, and Carr just came out and poked it out.
Yes,
and
yeah.
That's just that's the kind of play that we're getting from Bednard last season. Grande likes to sit back and control. He's a big fella. He can control down low. But it was great to see that aggressiveness from Carr, and it's something that with the rotation of netminders gives us a bit less predictability.
I think you need it. I think you need the two different styles, because if you're coming different teams, they'll obviously play different against you. So, like, if you've got a client more aggressive, they'll go, "Oh no, like, we can't play the way we wanted to." Like, if obviously they're expecting Granny to put Carter in, it's like they've got to then change the game plan as well. Because obviously each guy gets beat in different ways, but they also play differently. So with Carter, you can't get as close to him as what you could with probably Grande.
Yeah.
Because he'll just like nick it, he'll just poke it off you, or he'll just grab it off you. Where Grande just needs to like want to make the save more instead of like control his crease.
Yeah. Were we saying we got out? Didn't we?
Sorry.
Did we say were we getting out? Did we get outshot in that game, the Coventry away?
We had 39
to 33.
So we had 6 more.
Okay, but it was one of those games that felt like last year where we might get outshot, but are you looking at real quality chances? Like our defense were very good, our mobile defense at forcing shots from the low percentage areas, from the blue line, from out further back, from acute angles, and Carr was just equal to that.
Yeah, I agree. It was again a good game. But yeah, the scores of that was Martineau with 1, Pearson with 1, and I don't really know why I've got such a love for this man, but Garat for 1. It was an empty net. I don't care, but he scored.
Just lifted over the top of the whole team and just dropped it in. Lovely.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
and it was the strength of those, as you were saying earlier, those important face-off wins in our zone. We were just with I think for the duration of their empty net, we were just winning the puck, taking pot shots. And when you're winning the puck off the icings, you're not really losing the energy. You're not. It's straight back to your D, and they're having a pot shot at the net.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got a couple of. Sorry, that was Bruno. I don't know if you heard that on the mic. And again. So yeah, next week we've got a couple of games coming up. We've got Saturday. It's a home cup game. Panthers we're against Storm. And then on Sunday it's an away. Devils. We've got Devils. Which I think they're both 2 tough games. Cardiff have been taking the is it the cup? It is the cup. Yeah, they've been taking the cup by storm. Doing really, really well in the cup, so that would be a real test. Manchester or Storm, they're then similar to us, so less worried about that one. But maybe they've got more to prove. They've got more to win, just like we have in the cup. We've performed really well this week. We need to carry it on. So, what do you think the scores are going to be? Let's do the predictions.
I think I'm canny about this one because I remember it was one of the early season games I managed to get to last season. I think we lost this fixture against Manchester. We played quite a lackluster game, and they came out on top. A lot of people. So Manchester kind of this season they seem to have built big at the back, and they've built to play in their rink. Whether they can play the same game in an arena, we're yet to see. They do have some strong offensive talent, and I don't think they've been particularly dominated in any games yet. The 2 games against Cardiff at the weekend, they just turned into bloodbaths, really, didn't they? It was a 50-50 who was going to win them. They've got 2 very, very good netminders that they'll rotate. Don't know who we'll be facing, but both of them just as good as each other. Defense, I think, is their big question mark, and we are starting to get into that position where we're unraveling shaky defenses. Offensively, they've got decent talent there. They've got Ule, and yeah, he's always had a good game in Nottingham, so you can't dismiss him. I don't think you can dismiss any team this year, and Manchester are going to be we're wanting to go up and be able to compete for this competition, but Manchester, they're sort of on a lifeline as well, so I expect them to come hard. I think we'll win, but I think it's going to be maybe a 4-1, 3-1, somewhere there. But I'm going to stick with a 4-1.
Yeah. I've pre-written down mine, and you were very close to what I've written down, and I was like, shit, I need to change it. I mean, bugger, I need to change it. So 4-1 on Manchester. What about the Devils game?
Devils, another tough rink, but do you know what? I wrote us off last week. I said we were going to lose in Coventry, so I'm going to go optimistic. I'm going to say 3-2 in Cardiff. We've been playing really well on the road. I've got a feeling that we'll play Grande on the Saturday and we'll play Carr on the Sunday. Carr just he seems to be up for those kind of games where he's got to play aggressive around the net to get those loose pucks. I think we're gonna want to bring revenge to them after the first game we've had in our arena against them. We're a bit more savvy to their tricks, and I think the referees are getting a bit more wise to them as well. So we'll see if we have a bit more of a reactive referee team that night.
As long as there's a certain couple that aren't reffing, then I'm sure we'll be fine. I'll go next just because our scores are very similar, and I've pre-written mine down. I've pre-written mine down. So for Manchester for Storm, I've written 4-2. I think we're going to perform, and I agree with you. I think we'll have Grande on Saturday and Carr on Sunday, just because my thoughts was he's got that shutout, he's got that a little bit above Grande on the stats, and I think the tougher game will be the Devils, so they'll use Carr for the Devils. And let Grande potentially get his shutout or grow a bit more for the Storm. And saying that for the Devils, when you said your score, I was like, okay, yeah, cool, same. I said 3-2, but overtime. I think it'll go overtime because it's gonna be tight. Us and the Devils, we're always quite tight. I'm pretty sure this is the goalie or the tender is Megan's cousin's husband or whatever. So I might put some laxatives in a drink.
Please do. He's playing a blinder at the moment. His bounds.
So you never know. If he's not there on the night, it wasn't me.
In hindsight, though, just as you mentioned it there, do we give Carr the chance to continue his shutout on the Saturday? In fact,
another one.
It's kind of tradition, isn't it? You kind of got to give the goalie the chance to continue his shutout. Having not been scored on in Coventry,
and he's not played at home yet.
Yeah, and he's not played at home yet. So puts a spanner in my works. Certainly, I'd prefer to see Carr on the Sunday, but do we give him that chance to continue?
That's a really good point.
Mm.
And then if he gets a shot on Saturday, does he then play Sunday as well? Oh shit! I mean, it'd be a bit. Did want a fresh tender, I think, for that game. But no, very interesting. Well, I'm sure we'll see on the Saturday when they release the lineup.
It's going to be Sheldon.
Don't. He's had his ice time with the family skate to clear the fog.
Okay.
Right, Zach, what are your scores? What do you think it's going to be?
I mean, both these games are massive. If you look at the groups. Storm's 2 points behind us, and Cardiff are way ahead. So ideally, we've got to win both to make a chance going through. I think Storm's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be 3-1 to us. I think we'll get the win, but I think it's going to be a bit of a battling game. Because it just depends what Storm team turns up, to be fair. Because they've been really good in some games and really poor in other games this season. But yeah, I think we'll get the win in that one. And then in terms of Cardiff, it just depends how we play. If we don't get drawn into their nastiness and whatnot, like we have the last couple of games, I think we'll be all right. But I think we'll go there with a 2-1 win. I think we're really tight. I think it's just going to be quite a nasty game. Because that seems to be the way that they're playing this season. It just depends how it's reffed and how we get drawn into it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, the card or the Devils game is going to be tight. They could.
For me, though, over this weekend, I think the Manchester game's the most important of the two. Cardiff, we're not going to catch them. You might as well just wish for them to win the rest of their games. We need to win the games with the people that are close to us, so that we can maybe get second, third place. So Manchester's the big onus. If we can then go on to beat Cardiff, that's a massive bonus on top.
Yeah. Pick your battles kind of thing. Yeah. because we're not going to catch them, so we might as well play for second. And if they're winning, that means a certain team that's close behind them doesn't win, which I'll be happy with.
Coventry Saturday, which is massive for us, because if we win that, we're going the same points as Coventry. And then we have Sheffield next week, and we should go into there potentially 1 point down on them. Because next Wednesday. So I mean, that Storm win, we've got no choice but to win. I think just get anything out of Cardiff, even if it's overtime, we need a point. Would just do anything. Would do us wonders there. I think just to push us into that third and second spot. Because realistically, that's what we're fighting for here.
The amount of points I think Cardiff, the amount of points that Cardiff have got by the end of this is irrelevant because I think they're going to be ahead of us. So we need to keep the points against teams like Manchester, Coventry, Sheffield. They're the people we need to be battling with. But absolutely take the points off Cardiff as well. I'm just saying that they're the points that we can. It's almost like a 4-point swing if we can take 2 points from Manchester and give those 2 points to us.
Just get whatever out of Cardiff, especially if they beat Coventry, because that will put us above Coventry then, and then they're sort of in the driving seat going into like the Sheffield and obviously playing Blades again. Because obviously all the teams above us we have also got to play again. So if we can still be in the driving seat when we play them, it's perfect. It's in our hands a bit then.
Yeah, definitely is. So just a few notes. No, actually, we'll do the standing first, and then we'll do notes from the games, just so we know where we all are. So we'll start with the cup, as we're then just finishing talking about it. Obviously, the Devils are in first with 10 points, 6 games played. We've all played 6 games. I'm not going to repeat that. We've all played 6 games. Cardiff with 10. Then it's followed by Sheffield with 9, followed by Blades with 8, followed by us with 6, then Storm with 4, and then Guildford with 3. And then in the other bracket, we've got Dundee with 9 points, a game ahead because they're on 7. Belfast with 8 points, a game behind. Clan with 6 points, a game behind, and then Fife with 5 points on 7 games as well. And then for the league, which we can hold our hands up high, boys, we are first.
Top of the league.
Top of the league.
Stop the count. We are number 1.
Yeah, just end the league. We've won. Give us the trophy. Give us the cup. See you later. Bye. So, yeah, we're first with 2 points, and then second is Clan with 2 points also. And then Manchester and Guildford with 0 at the bottom because they've played 1. The rest of the teams, so Giants, Devils, Blaze, Stars, Flyers, and the Steelers, they've not played a game yet. But we're still going to be top, so it doesn't matter. And now going on to the notes of this week that we've kind of written up here is Chase. Obviously, it's got to be mentioned. A 6-goal week with 3 assists on top of that. It's got to be mentioned. A fantastic week for him and many more to come, hopefully, just to prove that he's worth and he's on the team and he's with us. Ollie played his 500th game for the Panthers away at Coventry. I don't think anyone's even close to that in the team. I think Ollie's been with the team for years, and I mean years. So, well done, Ollie.
Assist on it. Because I think Jordan's got a testimony in 2-3 years, so I don't think he'll be that far off. But yeah.
But Ollie's definitely. I think he's hot on the heels of Matty Myers' games. I think.
I know altogether, but
yeah.
So
I think that's actually in the league that's probably near Ollie's probably Lacko.
Yeah.
That's actually probably still in the league that's played that many for us. Who was actually announced testimonial this morning, I saw. So that's good to tie.
Yeah, good to see.
Yeah. So it's good to see. So these 4 players coming back.
And then we've got Foss, his goal at home against the Flames. It was beautiful.
Filthy. Absolutely filthy.
Yeah.
Pucknography.
Yes, it was. It was great. So yeah, that's covered the previous games. We've done the game predictions, and we have done a couple of notes. So was there any rules that we could kind of think of that need to be explained?
He gobbled out of Guildford.
Yeah,
I know it's sort of said the week, but
yeah, the goal rubbed out in Guildford. Just that was a goal. I don't think we need to cover it much more than that. It was yeah.
Guildford of the week. So that's where we're annoyed with that one, because there's that same thing happened when the previous game there, and then they gave it, and then it happens to us, and they don't give it. It's just like we just need that consistency there.
Danny said that we had a terrible night in there because we had a goal against that was reviewed and allowed to stand that they didn't agree with. Danny said he lost his head, the bench lost their heads, and it all went downhill from there. That night we had a goal that was washed out. That it felt like it was a reoccurring theme, but he was very complimentary of the way the team held together and just sort of galvanized around that and just steamrolled.
Mm.
But the ruling is that if a scoring chance is imminent, then play continues. You can't get much more imminent than a puck traveling towards the net as the netminder pushes it off. It's strange.
Let's talk about being pushed off. I don't even know if it moved more than a centimeter.
It was the reflex of he didn't mean to push it off. He meant to save the puck, but it was pushing his leg out to save the puck that caused the net to go off, and then the puck went in over his leg. So yeah, it's baffling.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So not so much a rule, more of a just poop take of the week. Just
I can't think. Yeah, I can't think of anything worth mentioning as far as strange occurrences, confusing things.
No. Okay then. So we've got next up on the list, player of the cast again, or runner-ups, or honourable mentions. I think we all, because we're doing a thing now, or we're trying to kind of not have the same people as each other. I think, did we all claim a player prior to this?
Well, I think it's fair to say we're all saying who we think our player of the cast is, and that player being our cumulative player of the cast, but all having different honourable mentions, kind of thing. Someone to mention along the way. I think our player of the cast was pretty unanimous.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that it's Chase. I don't think we have to explain why. He's just done phenomenal this week. He's earned that player of the cast. So, Chase, if you are listening, well done. Keep up the good work, and I'll have a word with Danny about your salary. Might get that up a bit.
Your hockey's as good as your hair.
Or
and
better.
That's damn good hair.
But runner-ups. Okay, so I'm gonna mention. I believe it was Noel, where he kind of lunged, poke checked. I could be getting this mixed up with the previous games, but he stopped a very good play from happening. My original nominee was going to be Garat because he got a goal and he's just all around consistently good, excluding the ridiculous penalty he got, which was mental. He's not. I don't think he's been bad. In my opinion, he's not been bad this season yet. He's not made mistakes. He's stuck up for the team and he's getting in the way. He's doing what he's meant to do, which is blocking people. So yeah, they're my honourable mentions. Noel and Garrett.
But that play you mentioned for Noel, I think I remember the one. It was in Coventry. Coventry were getting a breakaway, and Noel managed to double back. You thought it was a sure Carr's going to have to do well here, but somehow Noel managed to get his speed on, drew parallel to him, and managed to poke it away. And you are correct in he did almost the exact same thing in the Sheffield game, and it was great to see that in the Sheffield game. And I thought, what a fantastic play! And then he does it again next week against Coventry, and you're thinking, okay, this is just Noel, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I thought he definitely had to get my top nominee. Again, just because he's a cannon, and he's also some elusive brick wall, some flexible brick wall that you're not getting past. And if you do, it's just by a win.
And have we mentioned his shot this week?
No.
We're just always waxing lyrical about his shot, which led to a deflection in the Coventry game from Pearson. Yeah.
So who's next? Who's going to share their nominees with us next?
One dear to my heart. He's a revered name in this household, but it's Cooper Zek. I've been watching him every game. You can tell his heart's on his chest. He's been trying perhaps a little bit too hard. He hasn't been making those kind of plays where it puts us in danger through trying too hard. It's just almost like his offensive plays have just been fizzling out a little bit as he's trying that one too many pass. He's trying to move the puck a little bit too far. But just that goal he got in at home just seemed to settle him, and we're seeing that Zexy hockey that he's known for. He hasn't put a foot wrong so far this season in my eyes, but it was just great to see him, and he got a good mention, got a good glow up in the league's team of the week as well. I think he was selected as one of the D-men of the week. So yeah, for me, honourable mention is Cooper Zek.
Yeah, I agree with you there. He's again, just like Garrett, he's just consistently good. We've got. I think we've got quite a few players there that are just consistently good, and then we've got some that are really good one day, okay, the other days. I don't know if we've got a particular people that are just bad. I can't really name anyone. I don't particularly want to, even if I could, because
No. Normally by this point of the season, I've got a few names where I'm thinking that's who we might be looking to replace later on in the season. But everything's kind of coming together. I mean, I've had one name, but he's. I mean, I've wanted to give him a chance with a steady line, and Harris has just absolutely stepped up this weekend with that steady line. He's had a consistent sentiment, and he's had a winger to work with through consecutive games, and we're seeing that performance from him. But Harris has been my only real question mark, and that question mark's kind of evaporated.
Yeah, that was who I was thinking as well. But like you said, he got his first goal, and I think it was that confidence that he's now kind of opened up. And yeah, the line, he's working better with the wingers and making plays as well and chasing people down. So he's really pulling his weight.
Like Henbrand, he's an excellent holder of the puck. He can really hold up play in the opposition zone, but he's just not had that consistency of people to get the puck to. But with Marcineux and Pearson playing alongside him, he has had that those options and play and that consistency.
What about yourself, Zach?
I'm going to go for a very vague one here. I'm going to go for Ross Armour, because I thought he was brilliant in Guildford, and he was really good again against Guildford at the weekend. He just seemed to be everywhere. He got the first goal in Guildford, which really set us off. And then I just thought he just worked really hard in the game seen him this week. I thought I'd just put a bit of a vague name out there.
No. We all said the previous episode that he's kind of taking Hare's spot in the team.
It's just consistent workhorse. Is Armour. He's just for me. He's the replacement for Stephenson from last season, and he's got that. Stephenson had a brilliant defensive centre game, and Armour has that, but he has an offensive angle to him. He's got that height. He's good around the net. He's good at working in position. He's good at tipping. So we've got that defensive element that we had from Stephenson, and and that work rate, but we've also got that offensive upside as well, which is just absolute bonus in your third line winger / centre. Plus, there's the utility that he is that winger / centre, and he's good in the dot.
Yeah, winning for easily above 50%. Easily, I think he's winning 2 out of 3 face-offs. He's definitely strong in that. Okay then. So that's that covered. Now, if Zach's got it up and ready, it's time to spin that wheel and let's see who we get. Should we do
Doug? Because he finished raised bottom of the group by a mile. So let's go for the standings. I had a 30-point week with Chase.
Just like to point out the man who spins the wheel.
Yeah.
So Christoph is second with 13 points overall, with David third, and then Doug's on 4. So Doug's got a bit of work to this week.
I've got to say thank you for Kelsall. He kept me steady. Like I said, you're not expecting him hat tricks off of Kelsall, but he steady plus minus and no penalties. So yeah, kept me up there.
In terms of this, what you want really, I think you need one big week, and in the best season, you want to be steady. Just pick up like the 3-4 point weeks, just to keep you up there. I mean, the best thing you get is get a minus week, and then it could decimate your season really. So I mean, if you get like one good week like me, all I need the best season now is just get the 4 or 5 point weeks just to balance it.
Week now, please.
Yeah. So it goes. So I spin. I'll show you some actually spinning. I don't know if you see it or not, but Cooper Zach. Which could be interesting. Yeah.
Okay, well that's points. I'm gonna get points. He might not score too many or any, but that is points on the board. I'm happy with that.
So David obviously in here, but I spent him anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just cheating. Christoph's not happy. Martin,
Marcin, yeah, no, he's David will be happy with that one. He's a consistent player. He's putting up points. I don't think there's been a week gone by where he hasn't had at least a point.
And then for Christoph, we're spinning on. Bossier.
Yeah.
Okay. So this could be your week.
Just starting to heat up his Fossier. He's finding the net. Yeah, very, very happy with Fossier.
Okay.
And potentially being reunited with Alfaro, who's been seen wearing contact jerseys now. So maybe we'll be seeing them their line rekindled, him, Doherty, and Alfaro.
Just hopefully chase him after the last couple of days. Obviously, he's been seen with his hand tied up. He hasn't trained today, so hopefully it's just a bit of a knock.
He did put on Twitter that it was just a little. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, it's gonna be interesting. I've got Tim.
Oh, but brilliant! Yeah. So we're on the same line.
Yeah, it was a good battle. It's on the same line. Some really interesting this week actually. I'm quite interested with that. How it's going to end up.
Yeah, I think they're all solid picks there.
Zach can get a goal or whatever. You never know with Zach. He's
just.
But he's always going to stay up there.
I'm going to get points.
Marcy's probably the second best player to get this season so far.
Yeah.
I know Chris had him twice and he's won twice.
And
he's always got points.
I think it's quite interesting how I think Fossier and Zeg are good for Saturday's game in our arena. They seem to have better games with the bigger ice, and then you've got the hard-nosed kind of Marcinu and Doherty playing in Coventry, in playing away in Cardiff. They're the kind of people that are going to get those Cardiff goals.
Yes, so yeah, I'm happy with those. All of us have good, solid picks there. I'm just trying to find the sub channel. Here we go. So Q&A. We actually have a couple questions to ask, guys, which is great. I love it. So it was definitely with the first question. I hope I'm saying that right. It looks like it's spelled like that. With the first question saying, with Panthers being a given, what 3 other teams would you like to see at the playoff week and why? Or playoff weekend and why? I said I've got my 3. I said that about 5 minutes after her question, and I should have wrote them down, but I didn't. So my 3 would be Fife. I'd love Fife to be there. I'll always have a soft spot for Fife after what they've been through and how they've kind of still stood their ground. So Fife, Clan, and what was Covent? No, what was the other Scottish team?
Dundee.
Dundee. Thank you. That's the one. Yeah. So I picked Dundee and blimey, the one
Dundee,
I just then said.
Glasgow and Fife. Are you saying?
Thank you. I picked Dundee and Glasgow because I'm half Scottish, and I was like, okay, I'm picking them. And then I picked Fife just because that's my real soft spot, and I think they do deserve something. Just something, just to keep their morals up, because I don't want them to go through the same season again as last season.
And the Scottish games have been spicy.
Yeah.
Putting that in front of a big crowd is going to be quite a spectacle.
Yeah, and that's just thinking it'll draw the crowds in, you know. So those were my 3. Not real big reasons why. David did have his 3. He hasn't said them, so that we'll get David to answer this when he's back, or we'll even just get him to put them into the chat so you've got your answers. And then next on the list was Zach saying he's got his 3. He thinks so. Zach, what's your 3?
So I'm going to say Storm. Because I've got a bit of a soft spot of him for the whole AJ stuff, because they raised a hell of a lot of money for us during the whole Memorial game and whatnot. And I think they deserve to be at playoffs. They're one of them teams that have always been in a playoff place but haven't quite made the next step. I'm also going to say Dundee, because they're also a similar team Storm. They always seem to be like nearly there but not there. And I just think it's different having the Scottish teams and a lot of there, because they've always been a bit of atmosphere. And obviously, the main thing you don't want as a Panthers fan is any of the Raiders teams there, because obviously it's going to make your playoffs harder. And I think the third team is going to be Glasgow, because their fans are just always brilliant at playoffs. Like, even if the team's there, the team's not there, they always bring the noise at playoffs. So I think that with the way they travel, I think they also deserve to be there, just for the fans more than anything. Because I mean they've always got the biggest buzz at playoffs. It's always there, and it's always a bit of a party there.
Yeah.
I think I'm in quite a bit of agreement with at least 2 that have been mentioned already. Glasgow for the exact same reason that's just been mentioned. Their fans, regardless of their team being there, they always bring it. They always bring it in quality and quantity. A lot of fans, a lot of noise, and I'd love to see them being able to support their team there on the big weekend. I'd also like Fife to be there. I think their recovery from last season it's great for their fans. The hockey that's being put in front of them seems to be a good product, and I'd like to see that make its way there. Really reward the team and the fan base. But out of left field, I want Guildford there. I think Guildford were really hard done to last season. I've long said that if Guildford hadn't have got us in the playoff draws, I think they would have made it all the way to the weekend. Against Belfast, against Sheffield, they just had the energy. They had their team had got everyone. It was all kind of hitting the ground running at the same time.
We were very lucky to beat them, actually, because we got battered at their place, and it was just like we just pulled something out of the bag at home, which is when I knew we was going to win it last year, because it was just the determination.
Yeah, and their injury-riddled season had all just, they were getting players back at the same time. They were hitting the ground running, and then they, I mean, we were the eventual winners.
It was in better form than them at that point.
Yeah.
They're the only team that have got like a massive run.
Yeah.
Like I think they played Belfast or Sheffield. I think like the hangover from the week before would have affected them. But I just feel like they were extremely unlucky to like not only get us, but to beat us at their place and then lose to us at our place.
Yeah.
I think it just somehow it just worked for us that weekend.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think sad for. I mean, I followed hockey for a long time, and I've seen some fantastic. What you I hate the term, but non-arena teams. But my instinct wants to say smaller teams, smaller fan bases, but they really bring it. When they get to the playoffs, they really bring that energy. I've seen Hull at the playoffs, the Hull Stingrays, and they lit up the place with their fans. Five Flyers have been there before, and they've really, it's that condensed energy from a smaller fan base all congregating. And I think a lot of the rink teams get behind fellow rink teams as well, which brings a bit more energy. They've got someone to cheer for.
It's all the stories. It's when Fife made the Challenge Cup final a few years ago, and like everyone was rooting for Fife, even though Belfast fans like the story that this could be, because like I think they're having like a shocking season, but they like made it in the cup. It was one of them years, and I remember it also been one of the best finals last couple of years as well. That was because they were just where they seemed out of it, but there wasn't sort of thing. They just kept being about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, no, I completely agree. It's kind of like they've got their own little like family in a way where they're against the arena team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I get Goliath versus whatever his face is,
Underdog in this country. It's same as football. Like if you watch the FA Cup, you always want the League Two team to be the Premier League team because it's just the storylines about it. And it's kind of same hockey. You want like your Fives to beat your Belfast because there's a big storyline there. Sort of situation.
Yeah, and apologies, David, when you hear this. It's Goliath versus David, or David versus Goliath. One of my co-hosts. I should remember that. But okay, there you go. Definitely, there are 9 teams or 3 teams each that we would want at the playoffs. And then the next question is from Ricky, and he asked a question that I said this when I first joined or first started following. I thought the same. I had the same thought, but now I've got a different opinion on it. So, do Panthers need a fighter who can play okay, or a player who plays amazing but can only fight okay? Now, I think the time of enforcers are long gone. They're almost a waste of a signing, a waste of a slot. A player who can't skate or can only skate okay, but can go drop someone. That's not, in my opinion, useful because they're going to get a 10-minute or a 5, and a game ban. And that guy that they drop could literally be back in the ice if he's not taking his gloves off or anything. He could come back on the ice. Where in comparison, you get someone with the speed of Henbrand, the shot power of Noel, and the accuracy of like Marcinio or Foss. That player is kind of unstoppable. You're not going to catch him. You're not going to save his shot. And if he does get caught out, the entire team's going to be there having his back because he is the player. So, in my opinion, it will always be the better skater or the better player over fighting. Like I said, the time for that is just long gone now. There's too much skill in the teams that we play against. It's not five-a-side football.
Yeah, I agree. The era of the enforcer's dead. Sadly, we kind of live in the era of the rink rat. The enforcers always kept the rink rats' heads down. Back in the day, you had your Schmears would keep your Affinities heads down. But now with the enforcer gone, you've got it's your era of your Brants, your Hunts, and these days if you put an enforcer out there to go after those guys, your enforcer is just going to be sat in the penalty box all game. It's sad, but it's true. The way the officiating is in this country as well, it's just very big guy on small guy, big guy sitting. I don't think there's any place for an enforcer. Would I like to see it? I'd be interested, but I don't think it'd do us any favors. My perfect archetype, especially for this team, and in our Magic Grand Slam year, it was very similar that we just needed a bit more presence in front of net. We needed someone who wasn't afraid to fight, and that was Kelsey Wilson came in, and we really ran away with things after he came in. But my perfect player to come and play for this team, we've already seen him, and it's Kevin Bergen. He was an absolute legend back in his day. He could go toe to toe with any heavyweight. Wouldn't always win, probably win less than 50%, but he'd do it and he'd enjoy it. But he'd put you up a goal, he'd put you up an assist, he'd score important goals. Skillful player who would fight anyone. That's what we need.
I think it's a force thing. I just don't think anyone will fight him. Because, I mean, we had Gagnon a few years ago, like 2-3 years ago now, and it's like he had 2 fights all year, and then he was basically useless this season. I mean, he wasn't a bad hockey player, but, like, in terms of he was brought in for fighting, and then, like, just no one dropped gloves with him. Where I think you're a lot better with a player that can play and do a bit of the fighting to protect the teammates more. Kind of like what, like, Cardiff's done and Manchester and Fife's done in the season, where like they've got a few players that would drop the gloves, but as you've seen, it's kicked off when they played each other. But they can also be really good hockey players. Like Riley Banks, for example, when he's playing hockey, like he's a decent, really good player. But then he does also have the games where he'll just be like a menace, and then he'll just get penalty. But like he's played games against us where he scored a goal and it's been through him. And I think that's one thing that has annoyed Cardiff fans recently as well. Especially ones that I've spoken to, where like he's either really good at one thing or really good at another thing. And I think you need a player that can do a bit of both. But then their players probably don't exist nowadays as well. Because I mean, they just don't breed fighters anymore. Because it's not the way the game's gone. Even America or other leagues, they just don't fight anymore.
Yeah, I think the rules have changed. They've followed. They've gone. I'm not going to say softer, but they've gone towards more skill-based rules. They've penalised fighters much harder than probably what they once did before. So skill.
The thing I'll say about that though is there's a lot of leagues across Europe that outright ban fighting, but in those leagues you tend to see horrific slew footing, knee on knee contacts, and just things that your enforcer, it might not stop those things from happening, but it'll make you think about doing these deliberate plays if you've got him on your back afterwards. Your enforcer was always a policeman. He was always a defensive element to your team. He was never. You could use him like a bully, but he was never fast enough to keep up with the skilled guys. It's ear of the rink rat, unfortunately.
I've just got David's choices for the playoff week. He said Dundee, Cardiff, and Coventry. There were his 3 that he wants to be there, including us. So Dundee is, I think we've all said Dundee. So that I would assume that's our pick of the 3, if we're going to do that. I guess that's the pick of the cast. Dundee. We want Dundee there. And David also has given us a question. And he gave it 5 minutes ago. He said, it's cliche, but who's one player from another team you'd want to bring over to us?
Ooh.
He said Greenfield, which, again, if we had Greenfield, yeah, sure, it's a good tender. I don't really know many other players, so if I'm going to pick one that I know of, one that could be quite controversial, Sauceman.
I like it.
Just because he's good. He did a lot for the Steelers. He worked really well with his lines. He's kind of like what we were then talking about. He's a man that can drop the gloves. But also then has the element of skill. So that's the guy I would bring over if I had to. We're not going to say who should he replace. We're not doing that. Just who would we bring over? But yeah, Sauceman for me.
I mean, I'm saying Mitch Hurd from Glasgow. because he's a player that I was very surprised that they signed back because he was so good for them last year that he poured him through quite a few games last year. I mean, his points were really, really decent last year, and it's like the way he skates, and he's just one of them players that can get a team on your back. Kind of like Sam Hurd did last year for us. It's like if we needed a goal, he's one of the players that will give it you. He'll just trot you on your back and then go, "Let's go, boys," type thing, and he'll be the one that does the magic. You know what I mean? I was just extremely surprised when they announced him. Yeah,
he's that
he's
power
the kind of
forward.
player I think we're lacking this year is the power forward. I think it's just that player that's a little bit more aggressive in the attacking zone. In terms of like, we'll also chuck a bit of a hit in because the last couple of weeks, especially the Steelers game, we didn't want to throw a hit, which is one thing that's annoying me. It's like we'll let teams bully slightly, especially like in tackings. That where like I like a player that's not afraid just to throw the body back now and then, just to say we are here at times. Especially when teams are against us, she just wants someone to give it back to them at times.
Can I have two? Can I have
David? Sure. Go on.
I'm getting greedy. And like we say, we're not looking at them coming in and replacing someone. It's just someone you'd love to have on your side. Robson. I so far he is the netminder of the season. He's absolutely, he's just so impressive to shut out the Steelers in their barn one night, and then he was not the error in the Coventry game against us. It was a defensive netminder battle, and our offense carried us over the line. He's my netminder so far of this season. I'd love to see him in a Panthers jersey. But my other one, I'll give this one to David. This is David's. Is Estes from Cardiff. We have Cooper Zek, and I wouldn't swap Cooper Zek for anyone. But Estes, with what Zek does with speed, Estes does with opposite. With what Zek does with skill, Estes seems to do with just this rampant speed, drive in. He's got a hard shot. He's going to be one of the most impressive offensive defensemen all season long.
Okay. Interesting choices. I know of none of them. Which hopefully I will, by the end of the season, I'll know all the names and I'll be able to riddle them off with our weekly episodes of learning all this new stuff. So yeah. Has anyone got anything else at all that they want to mention? Oh, yes, I do. It is... Sorry, I wrote it down. Yep. We've announced the Continental Cup schedule. Wednesday the 14th of January. We've got the winner of Group C going up against the Heron Blue Fox. And then on the same day, we've got the runner-up of Group C going against us. Then on Thursday, it's Blue Fox against Torpedo. And then GKS, I'm not saying the other one, against the runner-up of Group C. And then on Friday, we've got Torpedo against the winner of Group C. And then we've got us against GKS. And then Saturday is to be confirmed by all of the winners and losers.
That Saturday's really busy. I mean, there's 3 games on Saturday. And then whoever wins the semi-finals plays Saturday night. So it's going to be a tough day for whoever's in that semi. Especially if you're in the second one, because you're going to have, 2-3 hours potentially between games? Yeah. I mean, it's just with time for food, and then you're on the ice again, basically. So whoever got an early game has probably got to mention that final, in my opinion. Because they'll be done for 1 o'clock, and so they'll have 6-7 hours to get ready. Where when you played at 3, you're done for 5:30. You're just going to be off the ass and then back on it again. So that's an interesting way they've done it, but
yeah, I thought that was a bit tight. Hopefully, we get the 11 o'clock slot. No, wait. No, we don't want that because I've just seen what they are. We don't want that. We want the 7 o'clock slot, which means we'd have the 3 potentially.
Oh, I've got it wrong. So the finals are 2. Right, I've had it wrong. So the finals are 2 group winners, and then it's one up to play each other, so it just gives them an extra game. Because I thought it was the runners up play the winners, and then that'll be in. It's where we finish the group, that's who you play.
Got you.
There's 2 groups for lots of it, which is confusing. which I don't really understand, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Okay. Amazing value for money though on that. What you get in 9 games if you pay all in?
It's 9 games for. Well, if you're in bronze, it's £60 for 9 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cracking.
They're each, isn't it? So it's like £5 for each, which is brilliant.
That's literally what the price of one game. If you go to a game, if you're travelling into Nottingham, that's the price of a gold seat game, really, with the parking. If you're
per games are £26. So you buy 3 of them, you've done more. So
yeah, that's a cracking deal. So yeah, guys, get your tickets quick because I think if you're looking to view all 9, or I mean any of them, I think they're going to sell out quite quickly because they split it up.
Till middle of November to book your tickets if anyone's seen to go there. I think it's 21st November something to actually book your seats. So if you can get him early, definitely. But you got like a month to get the tickets.
Okay, there you go, guys. If you're a season ticket holder, you've got to. We're estimating, but we're probably quite certain on it. 21st of November. You've got till the start of November. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
And if you haven't booked your seat, unlucky. But yeah, I think that was the only other thing I wanted to mention. No, it's not. I lie again. So you may see that the Instagram has been quite active and is going to be more active. And one of the questions on the Instagram today was guess the player, and I was going to read it out next week, but people seem to have got it quite quickly, and I wouldn't have guessed it. So fair play.
It's pretty charged straight on it.
Yep. So I just want to point out that Rosie Stevenson, you got it right. Shannon, you got it right. Emma, you got it right. Zach, you got it right. Everyone got it right with basically instantly. So I will start making that more elusive, the clues. Apparently I made it too easy. I don't know which one gave it away so quickly, but I think maybe the last clue.
It's just because I know like where it came from, that's all. And he's the only NHL player that's on our team this year. So.
Oh, right, okay. See, that's an obvious one then. Yeah.
You've got to warm it up, haven't you? You've got to warm it up.
Yeah, I'll give you all an easy one. The next... Am I going to say what the next post is? It's another guessing game. That's all I'll give. It's a guessing game. And I think I'm starting off quite generous here with this next one. So we'll see if you get it. So yeah, that's all from me. Anything from you two?
Right, I've got a bit of a shit take from the Sheffield game at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They spent the whole week like talking about that Sauceman coming back to get shot at home by Sauceman. And like, the whole focus of it all week was like, oh, his coming back is all this, all that. And then like, I think that they just didn't do anything against him. And the biggest show of the night was for Sauceman when they asked for Sheffield for Cardiff. Coming true. So, and I saw their fans going nuts on it about X. It's just like, yeah, that's just made me laugh at the weekend.
It's just a funny thing with Sheffield, and when the fans try and do something, what's the word? Like honourable, when they try and do something that well-meaning, it always seems to backfire on them. Like last season when they were clapping for the 5 goals, and it's a lot of their fans probably thought, we're geeing up a team that's doing badly, but they found it ever so patronising. And then for this to happen this year with the Sauceman thing, giving him he's given them a few years and some good performances, and then it just backfires on him. I can't feel sorry for the Tango Tossers, to be honest, though.
Yeah, no. Nor can I. Nor can I. So I think that might be everything for this one. So yeah, so that'll be a wrap from us all tonight. I just want to say a big thank you for anyone who's tuned in and listened to to us rambling on about things for the first, second, and now third episode, and soon fourth. So and now to my co-hosts again. Thank you again for surviving another week of me stuttering away and coming up with some random stuff and everything else. And if you're still listening, please just hit the like button, drop a comment, say hello, ask a question, say what you didn't like, say what you did like, share it with every Panthers fan you know. Make this big. I want us to be the biggest podcast for the Panthers across the board. The more noise we all make, the bigger the roar. So yeah, keep an eye out on the Instagram posts for the new games, the new posts, new events. We have made a Twitter and Facebook page. It's in the works still. I have no idea how to use Twitter. Didn't even realize it was called X. So I'm going to need a somewhat tutorial on that one. And the Facebook page will soon follow shortly after. So yeah, until next time, guys, keep your eyes on the prize.